one of the interesting conversations.
Hey.
One of the interesting that's happening now. We're heading over to film Jeff Canyon next, and an area that has come into play is obviously the social responsibility. How that is modeled by the organization, whether or not they view their own efforts as being their social responsibility initiatives, or whether they're attaching themselves to something greater. But you see it a lot now with some of the for-profits like Pepsi Refresh. I mean, these for-profits are embracing that mantra, I guess for lack of a better word.
Social change organization.
And they're taking the place of where some of the nonprofits have traditionally thrived and held these positions. I mean, do you see that like more and more through, especially from a consultancy standpoint, or is that somewhere that you think is just a fad, or?
No, excuse me, I see it a lot.
Yeah.
As a consultant in the social media world, the Pepsi example is great. There's a lot of consumer companies that are very, very specifically working towards social change as part of their business model. And that's, I think, a very new, 21st century thing. And of course, in some respects, that's traditionally the work of nonprofits or associations. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. And the difference is that associations have members. They have a community. These companies, if they sell shoes or T-shirts or whatever it is and give money to charity, it's not the same kind of thing. But some of these kind of business models have correlations. So I'm kind of watching that space. I think it's interesting.
Some of the for-profit organizations are using that, building that mantra of sustainability or what have you, to build a community. I'm thinking of Apple as a perfect example of building a community. Starbucks definitely building a user group community for their product that in many ways functions very similarly to traditional associations.
Actually, this ties in with some of the other work Maddie and I are doing on the beyond relevance, because what this is addressing, which I think is an issue in the association world, is that we focus on relevance and staying relevant to our members. And I just think we're setting the bar too low. And I think the for-profit companies are experiencing this, but it's also part of the transition in the digital age, in the sense that you don't get to control what you focus on so much anymore. Not if the community wants something different. And I'm sure the for-profit companies had these conversations of, we are not in the charity business. We are here to make money, sell product. That's what I mean, and that is their mantra. That is part of their mission, and that's fine. We can't afford to be doing all this stuff, but you can't afford to not do it if that's where the community is going. And so it's the balance.